Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Cask 529. I'm Brian.
And I'm Shona.
Tonight, we're coming at you with something a little slower paced than the last show. Boy, that was a good one, the Scotch show with Andy.
Very good.
He was very entertaining.
Yes.
We did learn a lot about Scotch, so if you're interested in learning anything about Scotch, I'd recommend going back and checking that video out. Tonight, we're just going to check out some WhistlePig Rye Whiskies. We first were piqued by WhistlePig. We were looking for a 15-year whiskey earlier this summer, kind of something to commemorate our 15-year anniversary, and we found WhistlePig. So we thought we would try their ryes, but rather than going out and buying 3 bottles of WhistlePig Rye, Shona actually found this package of WhistlePig, they call it Piglets.
Little baby piggies.
Little babies.
Out in front of us.
Kind of like going to a restaurant and buying 3 pours. So we've got 3 different WhistlePig ryes. We have Piggyback, which is a 6-year rye, 96.56 proof, and it's 100% rye, and it retails at $49.99. Then what we have is a small batch rye, 10-year. It's 100 proof. Again, 100% rye, and it retails at $89.99. And then the last one is going to be an Old World rye, which is a 12-year. Comes in at 86 proof. Retails at $149.99, and it again is 100% rye.
So if we would have went and purchased all 3 bottles here in Ohio, it would have cost us $290 plus tax.
Yep.
Where this little sample box, and I know it's just 1 pour of each, was only $25. So it allows us to try these before we make any of the bigger purchases on these.
And we knew this was available. We kind of been keeping our eye open for it, and we were just in the store on Saturday, and it happened to grab Shauna's eye. So we thought, why not? Let's give it a shot. And you can see we're going to be sharing these, but it's a pretty good pour, really.
It's a big pour for me.
It's really a big pour for Shona. Shauna's more of a 3/4 of an ounce type girl.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So, you set these up for us earlier.
I did.
Okay, I see this one on this end is the 6-year. And so we come right down the line, the 10-year?
Yep, and then the 12.
Okay, great. WhistlePig has a 500-acre farm that they opened in 2015 in Shoreham, Vermont. And we're getting conflicting stories. The internet actually says that it's distilled and bottled right there on the farm. According to the box,
it says it's bottled by WhistlePig Whiskey Company in Bardstown, Kentucky. And it's a product of Canada.
So their rye does come from Canada.
Yes.
They source all their rye out of Canada.
Yeah.
Which is, all these are 100% rye, so.
Yeah, but then on the top of the box it does say Shoreham, Vermont. So it's just made all over.
Yeah, it's just a little bit the best of everywhere, I guess.
Yes.
So if anybody, I guess, can straighten us out on that, feel free to jump in the comments and let us know, hey, you guys are messed up. And we're okay with that.
Absolutely. But if you know more about WhistlePig than what we have here, that would be great. I just honestly, I was intrigued by that 15-year bottle.
Yeah.
It was $300. Of course, we did not buy that because we've never had any. However, we have learned that we are starting to like rye whiskeys. So I seen these little piglets and I thought, well, why not?
I think actually the other night was the first time, just for fun, I had a pour of rye.
Which one did you have?
I had, of course, Bullet Rye, and it was pretty enjoyable, really, to just sit and drink it. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll let you do the honors.
Ladies first.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll start with the 6 year.
This is the piggyback at 96.56 proof.
I'll tell you what's on the nose because Brian's not,
I won't be
his
able to
sniffer
tell you
is
that.
broken, so he's not going to be able to tell you what's on the nose. You get some of the spice, it's very sweet smelling. Like a caramel, a buttery caramel. Do not smell a whole lot of burn. Just some spices and rich caramel flavors. Very mild. Just a little bit of spice. I don't get any heat off of it.
That's impressive at 96 proof that you...
It's creamy. It's very creamy.
I would agree with that just by the way it's sticking to the glass, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of a full body.
It's enjoyable. I mean, I didn't get any burn off of it at all. You can just taste a wee little bit of spice.
I was going to say, is that spice I'm getting
Yeah,
on the nose?
On the nose you're getting it.
Yeah.
But when you're tasting it, I personally just got a tad bit of spice and then just a creamy.
So I've got to tell you that Shona just got us these Glencairn glasses, and so I'm going to have to learn how to use them because that spice rolled right out of there and hit my nose. I'm not used to that with our other glasses have a lot larger mouth, but yeah, that first, whew. I've got the spice. To me, I would say it's definitely a pepper. I would say.
It's kind of like a buttercream.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to say that's a caramel or a honey. It's like you said, creamy. It's thick.
To me, it's more buttery, but
Yeah.
it's sweet.
It is sweet, but yet it does have that, I don't know, I guess I could say it has a little bit of that buttery, I don't want to say residue, but
Yeah.
kind of like you've been eating popcorn and you've got...
It's very, I could definitely drink that.
For sure. That's really good.
It's mild. It's a 96, a little over 96 proof.
96.56 proof.
And not that that's a high, but it's not in the 80s. But I didn't even get even the slightest bit of burn with that,
No.
did you?
But what I'm interested in seeing is, of these 3 bottles, that's a really young, at 6 years. Not that that's super young, but now we're coming to a 10 year and a 12 year. So
I am hoping to pick up a little bit more oak because I didn't really even pick up any oak in this one.
In with the pepper in that, I would say maybe there was some char, but I wouldn't say it was oak.
No. Okay, on to the 10 year. Again, picking up just a little bit of the spice. This one I can smell a tad bit more heat. Again, a sweeter smell. I want to say it's more of a toffee. more of the spice, the baking spices. Definitely got some oak this time. Just the slightest burn, not much of a burn at all. Still kind of mild.
And so this is the 10-year 100 proof.
So it's just a little bit proofier.
Yeah, not very much. Not very much. And then actually when we come to this one, we're going to go south with the proof.
You know, for a 10-year, it does have more of the oak in it. The proof points between these two is nothing. It's just aged 4 more years. Again, it's 100% rye mash bill. I think I almost like the 6-year better.
I feel like the color's a lot lighter on this one, the 10-year.
I guess I think I like the creaminess of this one. Where that it's good, but it's just, I didn't pick up a whole lot of flavor.
I don't get near the action. I'm just going to say action on the nose that I got out of that one. But you made it sound like the palate was a lot busier. I'm going to say, you said you preferred that
I do.
over the 10-year.
I think so, yes. And now, if I taste again, I might change my mind.
Right, I get that. But going with what you said, I'll say, I think it's going to depend on what you want, what you're looking for. Because to me, I also think I would prefer that. And here's why. This one seems even more creamy to me.
Really?
Than that. And we're going to say this had pepper, kind of a peppery, the bite that it had. It wasn't really a heat. I don't get much heat at all out of this one.
Just a little bit.
It's got a great flavor, but it's not a lot of different flavor.
Honestly, what that one reminds me of, this one, the aftertaste on it, the lingering taste is, and I know that you probably will not understand this concept.
Don't say leather.
It's not leather, I promise, and it's not tobacco. So, you know, I was raised on a farm and going to the feed mill, the different grains, and as they're grinding the
Like
corn
the
and the dust and all that kind of stuff at the feed mills, it just, when I tasted it, it took me back to the feed mills where they would grind the corn and wheat and barley and all that kind of stuff. That was the taste I had in my mouth.
And I only understand that. I don't understand it completely coming from where you got it. But when I worked at the beverage manufacturer and I worked in mixing, we had a lot of the products that were powder. And so you would taste those things all day, because once you got it in the air in the morning,
Right.
it just lingered.
Yep. So anyways, that just reminds me of my childhood, to be honest. It's not that I don't like it. I just like this creamery.
It is
creamery.
good.
Creamery one.
Creamier.
This creamier one here, I like it better.
I can't even say that. This had a good flavor. I like the flavor of it, but it's really mild, and I was expecting it to have a little more going on than this did. Just being a little older, I thought. Not necessarily because of the proof, but just from the age.
Yep. Ready for the 12?
Let's do it. And then this is a 12-year, only 86 proof. So,
I can't believe the 12-year is
Yeah,
that
it's
low of proof. I was
sure.
kind of disappointed when I took them out of the box and seen that the 12-year was the lowest proof, because normally the older, the higher proof and stuff. So I was kind of disappointed in the low proof.
I'm not sure how they do that. It's interesting. They actually call this a Canadian rye whiskey. Of course, the rye is from Canada.
Yep. Okay. I'm not picking up any heat off of this, which makes sense because it's only 86 proof.
Mm-hmm.
But I can smell some spices. Sweetness, definitely sweet. I wanted to say almost like an apple. It's very sweet. Just a little bit of spice on the palate. Gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed. This is a 12-year. I have to say.
I understand that, but I think you also have to consider, yeah, it is a 12-year, but what did they do to lose the proof? Did they water it down?
Yeah, I would say they had to water it down.
And so that may be where your loss of flavor went?
Yeah. It's not that it's bad. It's actually a smooth drinking whiskey. It's not hot. It's not going to burn. It's not going to do any of that. It's just... I was just expecting a 12-year to be full of flavors, and I'm not getting... As soon as it hits your palate, it kind of leaves. I had to say I'm glad I did not spend $150 on a bottle of
That
this.
would really be disappointing.
Because I would say that's more like a $30 bottle.
Yeah, this is what I'm getting, and this is going to be all over the place. But I almost get like a rubbing alcohol on my nose. It has that, I don't want to say it's a burn, but I just get, it's what it reminds me of. If I opened up a bottle of rubbing alcohol, that's what it reminds me of. And then on the palate, it's it doesn't match that to me.
No, I was going to say I did not get that at all.
It doesn't match the nose for me. On the palate, you know what it reminds me of?
What?
And it's not a rye, but that reminds me of that bottle of Redemption, which was also a really low proof.
It was, and it's not that it was bad. It just was.
It's just
bland.
It's got one flavor.
Yeah.
And it carries all the way through. It doesn't do a whole lot for you. And that was a $23 bottle.
Right.
Also, it wasn't a rye, but still, that's if we went and paid $149 for that bottle.
I'd be devastated. Definitely not. None of these are bad. They all drink well. They're all nice whiskeys to sip.
They don't match the prices.
They do not.
Maybe down here, maybe the 6-year.
Yeah, because
The
it's
6-year
$50.
The 6-year actually had the most character to it, I felt like.
It really does.
The 10-year is, I mean, immediately it dropped.
You're right. If I I thought maybe if I went back to this I wouldn't like it as well as I did. But I do. And so honestly, if I was going to buy a WhistlePig, it would definitely be the 6-year piggyback rye. Out of these three, because I know they have several other ones.
I feel like this one might have been a little better on that go around, but it didn't justify $90 to me. It wasn't that much better.
This one just doesn't justify $50.
No, but if you're going to buy one of these, that's the best value.
I would say that all of these should be more in the $30 range.
Maybe up to 50, 30 to 50.
They definitely do not support 90 and 150. So this makes me definitely believe that the 15-year is not worth the $300 that they're charging for it.
We're going to assume it.
Yeah, we're not buying it.
No, we're not going to buy it.
It's not going to be added to our collection.
No, we'll just have to assume, based on what we've seen, that there's no point in spending that money.
I am not disappointed in spending $25 to taste these.
No.
They're enjoyable.
We couldn't have tasted them in a restaurant for that.
No, absolutely not.
Not for both of us.
Right. And they are enjoyable. It's not that they're bad. Just the price point's way off. In my opinion. My opinion only.
Yeah, I think our opinion matches. So, I think after tasting these and kind of bringing us down off our rye high that we had been on, I'm kind of looking forward to the day we open that Wild Turkey 101 rye, because we really are fond of the 101.
Yes.
So I won't say this test was a complete flop.
Oh, no.
Because they are good. And for $25 for all three of them, it was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
But what'd you say it was going to cost $290 if we'd have bought 3 bottles?
Yes, $290 if all three of them were purchased.
You might have told me never to buy another bottle.
No.
If I'd have done that.
I should tell you that now. Anyway, no. Oh, shoot.
If I'd have come home with those 3 bottles for $290.
I'd probably been excited at first
To see them.
to see them.
But
Until
then it
I
would've
tasted the
ended.
12-year, then I'd be like, oh. Because that's what I paid for that Woodford Reserve Master's Keep. Thinking
That was 124.7.
Sorry, Master's Collection. Sorry,
Master's
guys.
Collection.
And it was so full of flavors.
Yeah.
So I would have definitely been disappointed in that purchase.
Yeah, that would have. That's a sad comparison, really.
It is. But hey, I'm glad we did it.
Absolutely, that was a good eye finding them. We've been wanting to try them. We've actually talked about it for a long time, so now we have, and we know that if we would ever buy one, it'd be the 6-year.
And I'm hopeful with the holidays coming up that we can actually find some other little sample packs to try.
Yeah, we would like to
as
do
we're
some other
learning
stuff.
these different bourbons and stuff, I think that's a great way for us to find
Yep. Yeah.
what
see
we want to add to our
what
collection.
we'd like to put in our bar. So, if you guys have any input, please jump in the comment box. Our giveaway is going strong.
It is.
If you want to back up a couple videos, if you haven't already done so, watch that video. Learn how to enter. It's in the video.
And that's through the 30th.
Through the 30th. So that is a week from Saturday.
Yes. So you still have over a week and a half to enter.
Right. Definitely. You get some Cask 529 swag. You get a bottle of Weller Antique 107. It's a pretty good deal, really. All you have to do is subscribe.
Yeah. And enter the correct comment.
And enter the correct comment, which you'll find in the video.
Yes.
So, with that being said, guys, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you next time.